started because I see there's enough people here to warrant getting this thing going. Welcome everyone to the Good Beans Cafe. How are we feeling this evening?
Good.
Excellent.
Summertime.
All right, so welcome to Good Beans Cafe. My name is Al Harris. I'll be hosting tonight. This is Creative Collab Night presented by the Creative Alliance. If you don't know anything about the Creative Alliance, we're basically a group of artists and activists in the community that get together and try to put on events that are going to benefit the arts and community together. We normally meet at Churchill's on Wednesday from 7 to 8, except every third Wednesday we take a break from all those meetings and come here and we just do what we do on stage. So that is, we can paint, you can play music, recite poetry, drama, tell a story, or just hang out and be someone on the scene. If you have any questions, let me know. Sign-up sheets right here usually allow 15 minutes or so. And then if there's time at the end, we can do some more stuff. We usually throughout the evening, we like to promote things that are happening. So if you have an event or a date that you want to note, just let us know and we'll announce it. Also, Jenny is videotaping this, so it goes on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel for this, flintunderground.org.
No, you know what? I'm not going to use that website anymore. But there's a Flint Underground YouTube channel. Nobody ever uses the
YouTube
.org.
channel. Okay, go on YouTube. Go to Flint Underground. You'll see all these episodes. This also airs on Public Access Channel 17 on Mondays at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
And we only do
Monday.
about one. So if you say you come up here and you play music and you play 3 songs, we just take the first one.
Yeah.
And put it on Public Access.
Because you have to stay within 59 minutes, and
Right.
we're usually always over 59 minutes.
And the last one, the show was the May Art Walk.
Okay, good. I'll look and see if that's what it's supposed to be. All right, thank you.
But it all goes on the web, right?
Oh, yes, the whole thing goes on the
Yeah, it's
web.
all.
So
Yeah,
just in case
the whole thing is
you're
on
not an early
YouTube.
peaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet. So with that, I am going to promote myself shamelessly. Right now, I am involved in a podcast that we just put together. Nick and I are working on it. Got a grant from Share Art Flint.
Money.
And so we're putting together a podcast. We're calling it a community-driven collaborative podcast. So that means we're taking music, poetry, storytelling, spoken word, weaving it into one cohesive episode. It's about a 20-minute episode, and it's just kind of an audio experience based on a certain theme or a certain issue. So this first episode we're releasing in September has to do about being an artist in the community. And so Nick is going to be conducting open interviews. So if you're an artist and you want to take part in this project, just go see Nick and he can sit down and you can just talk about your process as an artist and your rewards and struggles with that and all that.
And I didn't bring release forms because I'm smart like that, so we'll have a very informal release that you guys will sign.
Or just say it at the very beginning of each interview.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Right.
Remember, if you're looking at the camera, then...
Yep.
If you're looking at the camera, it's consent. Remember, I told you.
You can tell people that.
If you're talking into the camera.
All right, so thank you all for being here. Once again, my name's Al. If you need anything, please let me know. I'm gonna get things started off with a song called Devil's Run.
Yeah.
Walking down the gorge when she came to me. She had dark hair that glistened, looked like a demon sea. She said, "Can you help me, sir? I've come from town. They had cut the watering line, living off the ground." into discussion for to take a stand. I say you're crazy if you're taking on the state. We can make a mark in history driving in the state. And our town's been dissected by the authorities. And they won't be expecting to see us coming down with the cavalry. So we loaded up our guns and artillery too. We'll take to the river in the dim light. Tonight we'll run through. Now we can't be hasty when our minds made up. So calmly charge the marshalling yard. There we'll find a pub. They had dammed up the river for the company's song. And we can dry it up now and call it Devil's Run. They had dammed up the river for the company's song. And we can dry it up now and call it Devil's Run. And our town's been dissected by the authorities. And they won't be expecting to see us coming down with the cavalry. Thank you. All right, that's my piece, and we're gonna get started. My name's Al. Thanks a lot. All right, so please welcome Nick Custer to the stage.
Thanks, Beri. Alright, so yeah, again, my name is Nick. I'm really just up here to promote the audio braid thing. I don't know how much Al explained it, but basically we're putting together voices from the community. We're layering other voices, musicians, poets, actors. It's going to be really super dope. Premiere of the final product is going to be September 11th. Remember that date, September 11th. Don't forget, September 11th at the Flinn local 432. It's a free show. It's Art Walk Night. So from 6 to 9, we'll be giving out free CDs of the podcast, playing some renditions, and really just having a great time. So come on down to the Flinn local 432. When?
September 11th.
Jenny's coming. Are you guys coming? Hope to see you there. So real quick, just read a couple poems, and then I'll be in the other room, and I hope to see as many artists as possible. Just ask you a couple questions for our project. It's gonna be really helpful if you guys participate. This first one's called, it's from my new book that I got coming out next month, Nothing Works, Everyone Labors. Available only for $10.
Only $10!
I know, it's a pretty good deal.
Where do we get it?
You'll get it from me in my backpack store. It's called All My Friends.
All my friends are up to their eyeballs in tattoos. They all rock backpacks even though some of them haven't been in school for a decade. Most ride bikes, or did, or would if it wasn't so cold 5 months a year. These friends are as comfortable crowded on a smoky sidewalk outside the bar as they are at the point off Island Street, overlooking the river's concrete banks as sunsets crash molten red into the paved over brownfields. Ghostly whispers wanted the old job site carried on the breath of the wind, and we add our own whiskey slick exuberance and graffiti tongue bliss to the mix, like we're kids again. All my friends, or at least the ones I find worth keeping near, understand the appeal of a cheap house with a side lot and a scraggly, sweat-built food forest that won't produce for 4 more lean years. If I don't say so myself, all my friends are cool cats or rude dogs or family freaks, but not enough loot to make a new start.
or at least a partial payment to avoid the shut-off of notices for another month. You don't have to clap, you don't have to snap, you just have to listen. That's the best part. I'm going to read two more real quick. These two are both centered around the idea of work. The first one's called Sisyphus Pushing Paper. It's based on that myth, you know, the guy pushing the rock up for the rest of his life, up the hill.
Voted most likely to succeed in high school prom king, Sisyphus is pushing paper in a dead-end job 60 hours a week to afford rent in a luxury building in 600 square feet. His efforts were filled with a rising career, but too busy paying bills to appreciate the view except in two short forgotten dreams. Before the alarm that wakes him from wondrous sleep. Hell is a high-rise in a fancy city and no one to share the view with. Cursed is being chained to a desk and a meager paycheck, wondering what happened to your life between the pale knives of fluorescent lights and your last breath. So that's that one. We got one more. This one's kind of about growing up and how growing up really sucks. It's called The Daydream. Entering mindless data on Excel sheets at his desk, he slipped into a daydream. The overhead bulbs and computer screen unraveled out of focus in blurs of light like rays of a summer sun. He felt the warmth of remembered friends and family camping out, raging until ragged, happily disheveled in Ohio pastures. His party years had passed, but he could feel nostalgia pull back to the bleary-eyed music festivals, the sweaty joy of a thunderous crowd, thousands of revelers dancing, swaying, drinking, spaced out under the stars, loving life into the late hours of the night. The tie suddenly seemed taut around his neck. He wondered if he was killing himself trying to live like his parents. He wondered if his new path is purposeless. If he could ever be himself at work, showing his tattooed flesh outside the camouflage of a suit. He wondered if his dress shirt sleeves, like an armor of falsity, were long enough to hide the inky chainmail draped across his skin. Beneath this clean-cut facade, he thought, is a young life dangerously well spent, like an archive of state secrets that must be kept silent. Whole pictures of a person aren't meant to fit on a resume. They're meant to fill a library like Alexandria, and then when time comes for change, adulthood begins with the past burnt away. Thank you.
Alright, give it up for Nick Custer. Check out his book. It's only $10. Also, he's got a social media campaign to publish it. So check that out. GoFundMe, Nick Custer. He's also going to be over there conducting open interviews for our audio podcast. So check him out. Sweet. We're going to bring up Gary Flinn.
Yay, Gary!
I think he has something about the Riverbank Park.
Thank you. First, how many of you were at Churchill's on Friday night? For those who, for those who are not there, you missed quite a show, but don't fret because it was shot on video, which will eventually appear on the Flint Underground YouTube.
Yes.
So eventually find its way there, and even more eventually show up on Comcast Channel 17 Monday nights at 6.
Right. And if they go to the Creative Alliance Facebook page, then you'll see the video if I don't send it to you some other way. But I always post it on there.
Okay. Now, inspired by, as was mentioned, the renovations that are being made to Riverbank Park, I'm going to read the chapter of my book, Remembering Flint, Michigan, which you can get from bookstores and the back seat of my car for $19.99.
Only $19.99.
Something else.
Only $19.99. And if any of you have a membership in Sam's Club, Sam's Club has it at a lower price, along with some other titles published by Arcadia Publishing and the History Press in its own section.
Wow.
Just look for the book
You are
display.
famous,
On the
Gary.
bottom it says, I love local.
Yeah.
You'll see a picture. If you go to my book's Facebook page, Remembering Flint, Michigan, you'll see a photo of that display taken at the Corona Road Sam's Club.
Cool.
Now, I don't know about the Grand Blanc Sam's Club. I haven't been there lately, so I don't know if there's a similar display there, but maybe I should go there eventually to see if they are and talk to the manager there, like I did at the Corona Road Sam's Club, but that involves having to talk to corporate in Tennessee. No, I think it's Arkansas. They're based in Arkansas. Talk to corporate to see if they would allow me to do a book signing at the local Sam's Club.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So here's the chapter from my Remembering Flint, Michigan book about the Great Flood of 1947. A combination of a spring snowstorm followed by heavy rains led to the worst flood in Flint history in 1947. It began with an early spring snowstorm in late March that paralyzed the city and even caused 2 trains to derail. But then came heavy rain, which combined with melting snow caused the Flint River to flood and effectively divided the city in 2. The snowstorm on March 25, 1947 brought Flint 11 inches of snow with drifts up to 6 to 8 feet deep. The train derailments were both on what is now the CSX belt line. One was near the Richfield Road crossing, the other near the Flint River Trestle. By March 28th, activities were back to near normal, but temperature had risen, bringing forecasts of flooding. On April 1st, the high temperature in Flint was 48 degrees. By noon the following day, the city had reached 100 phone calls. They received 100 phone calls reporting stormwaters backing up sanitary sewers. By 1:15 p.m. that day, Flint had received 1.27 inches of rain, and Gilkey Creek had risen 4 feet overnight. On April 3rd, hunters reported flooded basins. On April 4th, Flint received even more rain, and the Flint River rose 32 inches in a 24-hour period. It was still raining the following day, and weather forecasters predicted record flooding as the Flint River rose an inch an hour, but experienced a 5-inch rise in 1 hour, overflowing Red Lake. On April 6th, the flooding closed Saginaw Street downtown, and the following day, 5 blocks were flooded. The Flint River crested that day at 101.5 inches above flood stage before gradually receding. The only bridges in the city that were open at the peak of flooding were on Ballinger Highway on the west side and on Lee Street on the east side. On April 9th, flood damage was estimated at $10 million in 1947 dollars. One of the hardest hit businesses was Weingarten Furniture, whose plate glass windows were broken in by the floodwaters, causing furniture and appliances, including refrigerators, to float away and attracting looters who were dealt with severely if they were caught. The National Guard assisted overworked police in guarding the flooded areas. When the floodwaters receded by April 10th, the ground floor of the Weingarten Furniture store had completely buckled. The Iron Auditorium became an island. It was not flooded because workers had caulked all the doors, windows, and other openings and mopped any floodwater that seeped in. As insurance policies do not normally cover flooding, those affected had to rely on Red Cross aid and low-cost loans to recover from their losses. Flint was not alone with extensive flooding. Other parts of Michigan were affected as well. The flood's effects were lasting, leading to flood control projects that became reality decades later. First was the purchase of land in 1950 along the Genesee and Lapeer County line near Columbiaville for construction of the Holloway Dam, which was completed in 1955 at a cost of $2.5 million. Holloway Reservoir flooded 23,000 acres and backed up Flint River water for 8 miles to create the largest body of water in the immediate area and the anchor for Holloway Reservoir Regional Park. In 1966, a section of the Flint River bed from the University Avenue / Sunset Drive Bridge to east of where Sports Creek branches off near Atwood Stadium was completely paved by the Army Corps of Engineers passing through the old Chevy in the Hole manufacturing complex. City officials held out for something more attractive in the downtown area rather than the stark concrete bed. In the early 1970s, the city began condemnation proceedings on land along the Flint River downtown to make way for the rest of the Army Corps of Engineers flood control project. Along Saginaw Street, buildings on both sides of the Flint River between Water Street and First Avenue were purchased for demolition. They include the most unusual building that constructed in Flint, the Senate Building, which was built over the Flint River on the west side of the Saginaw Street Bridge. A snag involving a long-term lease on 2 billboards on the center building's roof delayed demolition of that building until the city settled with the billboard company. A new higher segment on Street Bridge would also be built. Riverbank Park was completed in 1979 and was a source of pride for the city with several water features, including an Archimedes screw, which delivered water upward to feed the waterfalls. But nearly 30 years later, Riverbank Park is showing signs of wear and tear, as well as signs of neglect from budget cutbacks. The Archimedes screw was dismantled as it did not work and was too expensive to repair. The Grand Fountain did not work either. It was suggested in a study that the lower sections of Riverbank Park be closed for safety and security reasons. The street level portions remain open. Plans were found to restore the Riverbank Park's water features in 2009. But an even bigger concern is the Hamilton Dam, which was built in 1920 to raise the level of the Flint River to feed the Flint water plant 3 miles upstream. A recent inspection of the dam had showed advanced deterioration. One of the floodgates were open, and the energy of the water flow was intense. 3 of the 6 spillway gates did not work. If the dam were to fail, major downtown flooding would occur, endangering the public and leaching contaminants from adjacent brownfields into the river. The city was soliciting bids for either refurbishing or replacement of the Hamilton Dam. The extremely poor structural condition of the dam is such that, even though it provides direct access to University of Michigan Flint buildings on both sides of the river, both sides are gated shut, closing the dam to pedestrian traffic. And the rest of it gave a replacement cost of $5.6 million for the dam in 2003. One idea proposed involves tearing down the dam and creating a whitewater rapids area. And that was what was put in the book when it came out in 2010. So
Wow.
the story continues, as you know. And I thank you very much.
Flood again, and we're using the river water as a source of drinking water, then nobody's gonna be able to drink water, right?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. Just hope the KWA project is completed soon enough.
True that. All right, give it up for Gary Flinn. Go check out his book at the Sam's Club on Corona Road. If you want to pay the membership fee, that's where they get paid.
They just want your information.
All right, we are gonna let a man of the community come up here and play. He actually has his own open mic night. That's on the first Thursday of every month at the Lunch Studio, downtown Flint, from 6 to 9 p.m. And that is also a great way to get out there and play music and do poetry and all that stuff. So please check that out, and please welcome Brian BeCie.
All right. Thanks, Al.
Looking forward to all the performers right now on the sign-up list. There's several I have never seen, and a few I haven't seen in a while. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not particularly prepared tonight, so I'm gonna do one song. You're gonna have to help me with this.
Volleyball!
Yeah, we're gonna do volleyball.
Yay! All right.
It's summer. You got those parties out in your backyard. You maybe throw back a few beers and you get competitive and you challenge your neighbors and all that sort of stuff. And you keep it friendly and you keep the police away and keep it friendly and all that fun.
Keep the police away.
Challenge met, you've chosen the side, set up the net. Come on, ace, go ahead and serve. Give me your best or have you lost your nerve? You mentioned my past record. I played that love like I was a fool. Just the same, this is my game and that volleyball. 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 And volleyball, baby, I rule.
Yeah. Woo!
Nothing to lose and nothing to prove. I know the counter to your every move. You mentioned my past record. I played at love like I was a fool. Just the same, this is my game, and that volleyball, 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 and volleyball, baby, I rule. Dolly and Gerbil Jean, proclaiming you the verbal queen. Well, you got your digs in for the moment, but you never had to face a more worthy opponent. You mentioned my past record. I played at love like I was a fool. Just the same, this is my game, and it's volleyball, volleyball, volleyball.
Once again, I want to reiterate what Al said. I have an open mic that I host, and I've been hosting, well, in one form or another, I've been hosting this open mic now for approaching 14 years. It's a continuum of the Borders open mic that existed for about 10 years. It's at the Lunch Studio. It's on Thursday, first Thursday of the month, and I think this coming month falls on the 6th. I hope I'm close to right, but it's Thursday, and it's 6 to 9. And I believe food will be available this month. That's kind of an iffy sort of proposition, but I think I'm going to have a food service worker this month. So. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Al.
All right, Brian Postic, y'all. All right, sign-up sheet is on the table right there, right when you walk in.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Came
It
to
just
you.
came to me. Sweet. All right, we're gonna welcome Lee up to the stage. He's been doing this for a minute.
Good evening. Good evening. Man, I like coming down here. Usually I have my granddaughter with me, so I feel like I left something behind.
Well, she's not here?
No, actually, she's at camp this week.
Oh.
She's out at Camp Copenhagen. She's been going there for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah, it is. I went there as a child. That place has been out there. I was telling James back here, they have their 100-year anniversary coming up. Good place for kids. Kids need a place to go, man, especially nowadays. I got some country stuff here. What I would call old school country. This particular song, as I look around, is older than most of you here, but that doesn't make it bad. It's called Honky Tonk Angels. When I was growing up, these bars and stuff were called honky tonks. You don't hear that too much now, probably out in West Texas or something. But Honky Tonk Angels. You wouldn't read my letters if I wrote you. You asked me not to call you on the phone, but there's something I'm wanting to tell you. So I wrote it in the words of this song. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. Yeah, James knows this one. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one who ever loved you, and went back to the wilder side of life. As I sit here tonight, the jukebox playing my song about the wilder side of life. It brings memories, and as I I listen to the words they are saying. It brings memories when you were a trusting wife. I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one who ever loved you, and went back to the wilder side of life. And went back to the wilder side of life. Thank you. Old country stuff. All that country stuff is just, bass runs. Kind of like if you took the bass runs out of country, you wouldn't have much, would you, James? Yeah. And most of it's about, cheating songs, of course, and I always say that if you took all the cheating songs out of country music, you'd have a couple of songs left about horses.
Henry Hog.
Yeah. This particular song here, I've done it before down here, but it's been a long time, and it's one that I wrote. I do some writing, as a lot of the people that are down here. This song is called Love Is Like Michigan's Weather. And as I mentioned in the past, one of those songs you really can't sit around the house and play it because it's not gonna gain you any points or favoritism. But sometimes you gotta call it like you see it. When I was writing the song, my wife doesn't normally listen to anything that I'm doing because I've been doing this for a lot of years and she's heard everything I ever played. Yeah, so she's doing her own thing. But on this particular day, she must have been listening for some reason, and heard me do just part of the song. And she walked in the room and she said, "You didn't write that song about us, did you?" I don't know, babe.
Hopefully she won't watch this video.
Yeah, I can take the fifth on that one. When I first met you, it was plain to see there was something special between you and me. Now some years later the spark is gone. Could it be that we were both wrong? I'm sure it's the same on your end too. And I'm not blaming only you. The thrill is gone and I don't know why. Neither one of us will even try. But I still love you, honey, it's true. I just don't love you like I used to. All this talk about love forever, yeah, right. It's all changed like Michigan's weather. So you can see where you might want to do this around Mama, and giving her the wrong idea that those could be your feelings. But at any rate, well, I still love you, honey, it's true. I just don't love you like I used to. All this talk about love forever, it's all changed like Michigan's weather. For those of you who are from Michigan, you know what I'm talking about here. What you do is walk over to the window and take a look out and see what it's doing. Go back about your business. Come back in about 10 minutes. Hell, you think you're living in another hemisphere. Well, I found that love can be a lot like that too. One day it's hot, one day it's cold, and so on. I wish I could turn this thing around. It was wrapped tight, but it's come unwound. To put it back would take a lot of work. I just can't get past all the hurt. But I still love you, honey, it's true. Just don't love you like I used to. All this talk about love forever, shame. But that's the way love plays its game. What we had is up and gone, and all that's left is this old song. But I still love you, honey, it's true. Just don't love you like I used to. All this talk about love forever, it's all changed like Michigan's weather. Here's your local forecast for the greater metropolitan area. Clear skies this evening, followed by a light chance of rain. Switching back over to snow by morning. Well, you get my drift. And I still love you, it's true. Just don't love you like I used to. All this talk about love forever, it's all changed like Michigan's weather. Thank you. Got one more. Kind of been in the country mode here last few days. Let's see. Here's one. I like all kinds of music. I like some of this Tex-Mex stuff. As I've mentioned in the past, I grew up playing accordion, and the Tex-Mex and the polka music and that kind of thing are really, you know, they're closely intertwined. Same kind of beat, you know. So, you know, the sound, after a while, it all starts to sound alike to me, but I guess everybody borrows from everybody else. And that's not a bad thing. This was done by the Texas Tornadoes. Who were you thinking of when we were making love last night? This is what happens when you have a lot of insecurity and you let it run away with you. It's not serious, it's fun, folks. It's just a fun thing.
Yeah, right.
Who were you thinking of? Let me get a higher key here. You can take all that out, right?
Yeah, I'll make it look beautiful. Nobody will know the difference.
Who were you thinking of when we were making love last night? Was it a good-looking stranger or a close friend of mine? You didn't want to quit when we was into it last night. Who were you thinking of when we were loving last night? Who were you thinking of when I was making love to you? There was a smile on your face I ain't seen in some time. You got more out of it than I put into it last night. Who were you thinking of when we were loving last night? I see that grin on your face. Who were you thinking of when we were making love last night? There was a smile on your face I ain't seen in some time. You didn't want to quit when we was into it last night. Who were you thinking of when we were loving last night? Who were you thinking of when I was making love to you? There was a smile on your face I ain't seen in some time. You got more out of it than I put into it last night. Who were you thinking of when we were loving last night? You don't have to answer that. All right, thank you. Okay, Al?
Hold on, sorry. Okay.
All right.
All right. Clifford Lee.
All right, Mr. J. Blum to the stage. And of course, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but some new people came in. So Nick is doing open interviews with all artists for our audio project. So feel free to stop by. He said, bring on the victims is what he said. But it's nothing like that. We're all just hanging out, talking about if you're an artist, what it means, all your triumphs and struggles that incorporate that.
I was just agonizing artistically. Yeah, it's probably best for audibility. Visibility and other abilities. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm gonna just see what comes out. Yes, as spring went on, I play with a early music group, you know, Renaissance music, medieval music, that sort of thing, that is variously affiliated with SVSU. I'm the only member of the group who's significantly under 60. I'm not very old, young anyway, myself. But anyway, as it went on, the semester went on, you know, school year and all that, I was just buckling down. I was going to practice all the time, and I was going to play all the time, and I was going to spend the whole summer doing lots of music. And then the kids got out of school, and I haven't touched a damn thing in a month and a half. So, this is what you get. Let's see here. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Yeah. Funky banjo. It's a funky banjo.
Oh, the funky banjo. Funky banjo. That's the name of this tune is the funky banjo. Can't do the press rolls though, like play stuff. Anyway. So, yes, I suppose I will, since I took the Sudafed and I drank coffee and I'm totally wired. The upshot is that I was worried that tonight I wouldn't be able to sing. And maybe I can't, but I'll give it a shot anyway. So, lacking forethought and hopefully malice of forethought, I will sing a song that I sang a year ago when I first came to this, the greatest mic night in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
You know, you're not getting paid.
play it on guitar later. Play it normally sing. Well, it's twinkle, twinkle, little star with his old King Brady with his electric car. Got me looking right in his eyes, gonna shoot him, send somebody just to see him die, 'cause he's been on the job too long. Now Duncan was attending the bar with old Glen King Brady with his shining star. Brady said, Duncan, you're under arrest now. Duncan, shut up too long. Well, Brady, well, you know you've done wrong. You were breaking in here, but my game's going on. Come slipping in the sliding, kicking in the doors, mixed in the verses. Come breaking in the windows, yeah, kicking in the doors, and now you're lying there on the ballroom floor, 'cause you've been on the job, too long. Thank you very much.
You were messed up in the middle of that one, so
I messed up in the middle of it too.
It might sound a little choppy, but I'm gonna try to get in there.
Alright, give it up for James. Alright, this next performer's got a great voice, got a great writing technique. Please welcome Alex Markoff.
Yeah.
Chef.
My name is Alex Markoff, and I am a poet. Let's see. The history of my beating heart. The tiny ticks grew larger, less frequent, a fresh opening into the less nourished world. My beating heart asked no questions. No one answered. The new growth spread like a vine across the undergrowth of my chest, disguised. My pulse met my pointer finger at the margin of my wrist, where I could track my heart, its beat, for the first and second and third time. My beating heart took its roots with it as the wheel turned with its flat tire. A cold stethoscope traversed my bare chest, and I was diagnosed as having a benign heart murmur. The old arm that washed the motor worked like a clumsy second hand that turned to mud, then sharpened, then steadied. Yesterday, as I sat still, listening to the strange coincidence of the hiss and the echo, both lost inside one another, I noticed a shaking, a rocking. I glanced at my shoulder and could see that my whole torso was following my beating heart, like an old man who can't stop praying and praying and praying. The nurse enters my hospital room. She smiles and leans in. "You have a very large heart," she says. She then turns around and walks out of the room and the multitude of rooms that are highlighted after that. The defense. The athletes, bound by the code of their team, hone the muscles necessary to find and create holes in the opposing offense. They thrive on certain habits that press at their abdominals, their obliques, that enhance their pectorals, and the genesis of their prowess met at the barriers of each field head-on. The athletes collectively deny the idea that there is a particular emotion to this game that could only be on their minds as they play it. The defensive side of the ball and his buddies see no obstacles, only strategies and carefully put phrases lifted away from the game itself. We are going to try our best not to let them do what they want. We are going to do what we want. Somehow the collisions become heightened as the weapons are finally tested, as the playbook proves to be quite sound. The physical effort made speaks for itself. Clearly, the defense really did have it in it. And in his eyes, we see that there is a certain something left empty or maybe limited. The surveillance video clearly shows the defense as he carries her limp body like a just married, unlucky little princess. Him and his teammates walk her into her dorm room well outside the playing field.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I had the unfortunate experience of flying with United. Don't fly United. Well, if you can avoid it, because they're always late. Their gates always change, and it's a mess. Well, at least it was the mess the last two times I did it, which was to Bethesda and then coming back from Bethesda. But the first snafu or whatever, I had the odd experience of actually running into Ben Bernanke.
You did?
I mean, he was on my flight, and the guy was just chilling, and so this is about me finding Ben Bernanke on that flight. Anyway, so that's the basis for this poem. It's called "On the Same Flight as the Dark Lord." In the waiting area inside the terminal, the Dark Lord is putting his pointer finger to the touch screen of his sleek device of stealthier, darker matters. I recognized him from when he sat in his seat opposite the congressman and the opposing video cameras. Suddenly he was in plain sight, slumped and totally idle. I got up the gumption to walk up to him and say, "Are you Ben Bernanke?" He looked up at me warily. "Yeah," he said. Not yes, but yeah. I was left smiling as I raised my hands and shrugged as if to confess ignorance. It was as if I had just met a rock star or an actor. As the receptionist opened the gate, the Dark Lord's gait was expedited as he flashed his ticket like a badge and continued uninterrupted onto the ramp. The Dark Lord has always made perfect sense, at least according to him he has. And so as I approached where he sat along the narrow path that leads towards the back of the plane, I extended my right hand out. "My name is Alex Markoff," I said. He seemed preoccupied as I hastily shook his hand. When I got to my seat, the plane evenly rumbled, and soon we were both in the same aerial craft, wrapped by the stillness within it. His hand was warm. From the back of the plane, I could see that the drapes that separated the classes were wide open. In first class only, drinks were being served in careful installments on ice. Warm towels and interesting treats accompanied the clandestine model citizen himself, the seated former spectacle who is known only in secret. Are you doing a residual? Am I coming in? Because I hear like a. Is it okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
They sound good. Yeah, we were waiting for more, and that's why we were quiet.
I know.
It's really good.
Thank you. All right, so this is taken from my work at the Goodwill in Flint. The Trash Bandits. On a summer night, I opened the door to the donations dock, stepped outside and found their distinctive beat-up black Thunderbird parked beside the Goodwill dumpster. The elder female was stroking a large piece of ratty plywood, like a dresser made of solid maple. The four of them were puzzling over the contents of various plastic bags and were about to tie the wood to the hood of their car. I said, "Ma'am, I don't really care, but technically you are not allowed to do that. So if you could sort of wrap things up as soon as possible, because I don't want to get into trouble." "Sure, honey," she said, as I walked back into the building, as if I saw nothing and talked to no one. Then, seconds later, I went back outside and there was nothing there aside from the empty parking lot and the lowly dumpster stripped of what made it full. A week or so later, I am walking back into the donations area after my 15-minute break, and the assistant manager is outside apparently addressing someone located near the dumpster. I go to take a look and find that the younger male is putting a perfectly good dumbbell back into the dumpster. Linda, a tightly wound woman in her 50s, who is known for being unreasonable at times, is calmly enforcing the Goodwill Code. She says, "Please refrain from picking out of the dumpster in the future or I will have to notify the authorities, okay, sir?" The kid lifts the last weight up and over the side lid of the dumpster, there is a resonant thud. "Okay, ma'am," he says, almost smiling, as his hands permanently leave something that is going to be thrown away and disposed of permanently. The trash bandits jump back into their car. None of them appear to be the slightest bit disappointed. Another summer night along the blurred radius of the city as the motor sounds as they drive off to somewhere both close by and completely unreachable.
Wow.
Helicopter down there.
Give it up for Alex Markoff. All right, this next fellow that's going to come up here has been coming up here last 4 weeks or so, and we've really enjoyed having him. So please welcome Dave to the stage.
Dave.
Yeah, there is kind of a buzz up here. I think it's the monitor, so I might turn that down. Anyway.
Hey everyone, my name's Dave. Got a few poems here. This first one's about a girl I was talking to at a Big Boy. That's about it. This name's Alice. I thought her name was Alice, but it was actually Alex. So that shows how much I know her. It's called Alice. Radiance emanating, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The beholder knows no laws of gravity and space-time. She floats and flies. Knows no emotion of the beholder. The right on the shoulder, the weight of a boulder. That's what's more, to release or to hold on. Afraid of the clash, he is the thief in the night, but nothing to steal. Though his own darkness conceals him. Nothing to beg and plead for. He desires a close interaction in the exchange of a dialect that, if you put both ears to the opposite chests of two people, you hear, you feel. At least he imagines. At least he captures the film, frame by frame, stored and anticipating analysis, awaiting the pruning process of his own self-made callous malice, to possibly expose the wonderland that could be Alice.
This next one's called The Battle of Six Dimensions. On the battlefield of contemplation, fear and desire wage their war. By nature, fear is defensive, hard to defeat. Desire is offensive, easily advancing on the front. Like the facing of cold and warm, a tornado is spawned from parents of opposition. They intertwine and mix like vinegar and soda, erupting. But wait, there is a proceeding from an overlooked source. Desire receives an ally and fear is reduced to tremors. Tremors that shake and pound the foundation underneath the treading feet of desire. Fear has become its own enemy. Mirrors are now a weapon of mass destruction. Afraid to approach the firing line, all it can do is protect its own self-made existence. Fear and desire stand before the mirror of truth, but the tremors and quakes fracture the image that's seen. The image of a battle of six dimensions, a fight for all the world to see. Assemble dimension by dimension, destroy apprehension, the ally of fear, fire no warning shot. Journey into the unknown abyss, darkness is the fear and the camouflage, both of hostility, but only one of complete victory. This new one's called Silent Desperation. I was used to writing at that Big Boy and Fenton all the time, and I switched up one to a Burger King in the morning, and it just wasn't the same. So kind of had like a writer's block there. So yeah, I just did what I could. So this one's called Silent Desperation. A new unknown environment. Where has my comfort went? Distractions galore. 20 million spotlights and maybe more. First, second, in the door. The block that's only possessor is the writer, and right now he is a fighter. The noise of the world makes my mind sore. Maybe with a daily easement there might be more than to stare blankly at the floor. Maybe accept this place, everything except the decor. Then comes back the despair of the present trying to reach the future with a withered hand, like an anvil in quicksand. The grasping act of ocular visuals will have to suffice, like the mountain lion with only a few mice. The silence of the inner treble that will splice with the incisionary accuracy of precise. Just another yank on the pull start of the device, and every action has a price. The deaf-mute response, never heard twice. This last one's called Pressionary Time Warp. You know, we all look back at the past and how we changed, and this is how I changed for the better. So the past I was a totally different person than who I am today. Pressionary Time Warp. Today I went past skipping, jumping from moment to memory and vice versa. I was temporarily caught in a kaleidoscope of optical illusion that was once gripping, but is now slipping away. The time warp was set to -5 with the variable of unscaled eyes. Like rolls, back then I wore many ties. Closets full. Today I'm a blue collar and have no need to represent the white collar accessory of being who I'm not and who I've tried to be. The grass and concrete were screaming for me to remember the way they want me to be, beckoning me to summon the sweat and ashes of regret, where incoherency slept with insanity and bore a wasteland of infertility. It's all the same, but like having pizza for a week straight and having one more, knowing how it's going to be when you open the door you've walked through a million times before, when all that mattered was the right combination to jam the door open. The one is too many and 1,000 is never enough, hoping that this will be the quotient, to put a stop to the multiplying and division of numbers that make my mind erupt. And like now I'm stepping on the pebbles in the stream to cause a disrupt in the peace that is now corrupt. Because back then it was all I could do to see to +5 without a ponder of interrupt. I'm going back, but really forward to where I've come. But really am, my senses have had enough. I'm taking off the shackle, the cuff, of the broken past cast of oppression.
There's gotta be like 30 artists in this room. 30 wonderful, talented, fearful artists, and I just gotta let you know it's really a simple thing. I have like 3 questions. You guys are informing a community project. I got a volunteer.
I'll use the mic and I'll project on it. All right, please give it up for Dave Witkep. Got it? All right. Thank you. Yeah, what Nick was saying, we have this audio podcast project. Part of that is getting open interviews from artists in the community for episode 1. It's called Audio Braid. So he's currently doing open interviews so if you're an artist in here and you want to contribute to the podcast, go out into the back room and see him, and he's just gonna lay it out real quick, and you just kind of just talk about yourself for a quick 10-15 minutes. All right, we are gonna bring Suneet. Do you want to announce anything that's going on?
I think we are just about done, you know. We've been so busy lately and everything's done now.
I'm just gonna do one song. Thank you. Now I'm just gonna be reading a poem that I wrote. Thanks. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. Thanks.
I'll forgive you this time.
I'll be better. Alright, so this poem's called And. And it's written about someone who was very personal to me, so. And she said, "Don't stay for me. I wish I wanted to. We run and scream and shake, and in the end it's all the same. At least it's not each and every day, yet it's still too often I think of you. Time doesn't seem to fix or sway, a heart lost in better days. Every memory, a contradiction to itself, nostalgia and longing in a jagged little pill. Every broken piece treasured and protected, trying to hoard what's not mine anymore. With every hour that passes over the next, I find you slipping away just a bit more. First it's your smile, then the rhythm of your breath. I won't ever say it doesn't hurt. But if goodbye's all that's left, then I'll say it once more. Forever, but not again. I loved you, my dear, no more."
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Next song, let me see. Okay, just trying to think of what song I had on that list there. Well, I'll do this one. It's called Green Leaves of Summer. Let me switch up.
Because I don't know one thing from another.
Yeah.
Come on, help him out.
Oh, yeah.
Know your hurdle.
Come on, Diddy.
I'll be
This
the
one's-
holder of the box.
This one, oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. This one goes right there. This one's a Alice Cooper song. It's called I Never Cry. Or did I do this one before?
Yeah,
Well,
Oh,
yeah, but not
okay.
tonight. Not tonight.
Let me see. Okay, I'll do Moon River, I guess. Okay.
Josh Jones. I play rhythm guitar in a band that does not exist yet. But yeah, if you want to contact me,
I'll give you a caption
Write your
again.
contact next to your name.
huh?
Because we do events where we need artists, you know, creative
Write it on the
lines.
sign-up
Yeah.
sheet.
Oh,
Put
okay.
it on your
And I'll
name,
give you a
next to your
caption.
name, Next to the sign-up sheet.
He's looking for band members.
Yeah, we got links.
We got connections.
We got links
We know
and
a few people.
connections.
Connects.
We got people for people.
Well, his first riff, probably my last riff, because I don't know what else to play right now. But his first riff is called Skytree. I usually have like a lot of equipment and stump boxes to make it sound really heavy, but it sounds stripped right now.
Strip it down, man, down to the bone.
Yeah. Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
that's on that.
Yeah.
All right, Jasper Jones, boot up.
So I have one half of the song I'm going to do, and then I have two poems I'm going to do. So this one is in work in progress right now. It's really rough at the end because it's in work in progress right now. So here we go. It doesn't have a name. Check. Look. Won't give up. You don't understand what it feels like. You know what? I'll tell you what it
Feels like my real life, burning red, steel knife, my chest cavity. Trying to pull it out, it's like I'm trying to fight with gravity. What the fuck is happening? I'm so mad, I can feel it grabbing me. It won't let go, it's maddening. On top of that, I try to rap and they just laugh at me. I just wanna write around the tactics deep, but they're attacking me. I get so angry, it's like the Mad Hatter stabbing me. The sickness is infecting me. What does everybody mess with me? I digress, I tell this beat to rest in peace, cause like you haters are dead to me. If you really want to understand, you have to look inside my head to see. It's like a dark sea, a hurricane causing a heartbreak. So put out the flame in my heart, please. I'm like a ship trying not to sink, but the waves something far, giving the sky a scar. Jeez, why does everyone harm me? Maybe I'm really the one to get my heart first free. It's just I'm hungry for rap, it's like I'm starving. I'm just trying to hone my craft with a block for carving. And that's the end of my lyrics.
I got my two poems. I don't feel like I'm really good at reading poems. Rapping is way easier, but I'm gonna try this. The first one, it does not have a name, but one day I was thinking about racism and kind of just wrote this.
So that's what it's about. So I'm just gonna read it now. We're all blind. We watch as the world passes right in front of our eyes. We fail to see the lies. We fail to see through the lines and the truth and the lies. It's like we have our eyes open, but we forget to see. We inhale, but we forget to breathe. We're human beings, but we forget to be, like Princey. Everyone is scared to open their minds. We live in a time where we set judgment and race aside. But we judge more, and the less racist we get, the more racist we are. When the corner store is robbed by a black dude, he did it solely because he's black. Black kid gets shot and dies, and the only reason people notice is he was shot by a white guy, so it's a hate crime. We wouldn't pay attention if he wasn't Caucasian. A group of kids surpassed the 10 other math teams. That's because they were all Asian. It's nothing to do with their dedication. Oh, and this guy can run fast and jump high, so he must be Jamaican. If not, then he's half black, because being athletic has everything to do with your skin pigmentation. Oh no, this guy is Arabian, look out, it's another terrorist invasion. We look at things like our skin or our race as what made us do it. But what we fail to see is we didn't do it because we were black, or white, or Asian, or Mexican. We did it simply because we were human. This one is called Stranger. Man, I saw you today. You didn't really seem like yourself. Somehow a stranger with the face of an old friend. Of a memory, no, every memory between us flooding like a flash of rain. Looking at you, I should know you, but there was something I didn't recognize. Someone I didn't recognize. For an instant, I wasn't sure if I knew you or if you were one of those people you pass by and they remind you of a person you once knew. Man, I saw you today. You passed by in a glimpse. Seconds passed before I realized who I had seen. Every moment after that had me wondering who you really were. Looking at you, you weren't the same person I knew before. For you were different, still the same, you get a stranger in front of me. Man, I saw you today in my mirror. You looked back at me, but I barely recognized you. Sitting there in front of me, I wasn't sure who I was really seeing. Eventually, it came to me, like the name of that song that's been eluding you all afternoon. Looking at you seemed weird in that moment, for in that moment I realized I was looking at myself. But there's a trick in there. You probably is really easy to miss if you're not reading it, and probably even if you're reading it. The beginning letter of every line spells out myself also. So just thought I'd inform you of that.
Pumpkin too, jack-o'-lantern.
Oh yeah, I got 4 in besides drawing.
Oh, it's cool.
Thank you.
All right, give it up for Blake. All right, next up we're going to bring up a local author. You might know some of his work, titled Hungry Rats or Shattering Glass. So please welcome Connor Coyne.
Thank you. So Nick actually reminded me of something kind of important, which is I'm also the director of the Gothic Funk Press, which is, to the best of my knowledge, Flint's only experimental independent literary press. And we have a literary journal right now. I shouldn't say a literary journal, it's an arts journal. When I say it's an arts journal, I mean that we don't just publish literature in all forms. We've got 3 genres, which is sounds, words, and images. And anything that can kind of be dropped by your definition in one of those categories we'll take a look at. And to give an example, we started this back in 2010 in Chicago, and our second issue we published, a girl had submitted a costume, and she wasn't sure how exactly we were going to publish it, so she sent in a video of herself wearing the costume, and it had bells on it, and when she moved, the bells rang, and we were able to put that on the website. So really, we really want to push boundaries, and if you've got something imaginative and wonderful, we hope you'll consider sending it. You can find out by going to gothicfunkpress.com. gothicfunkpress.com. If you don't remember that, feel free to speak to me afterwards, and I'll tell you whatever you like to know. I'm doing this on my phone, which I think was a really like a stupid idea because it keeps shutting off on me, and I'm worried that I'm gonna lose my place. So if I seem kind of like twitchy, that's why. So yeah, usually when I do readings, I try to get the best, most polished work. This is not the case. I've been working on this one novel for the last 20 years. And in the last couple months of work, it became clear that it's going to be wrapped up, probably in the next 2, which is a very scary proposition because as long as it was never going to be done, you know, I don't have to worry about what's the next step. But suddenly I have to know what the next step is. So I'm going to test some of this stuff out. Here's, I think, what you need to know. I figured I'd pick something kind of fun. Who's here in 1994? Yeah. Nobody was here in 94, really?
Flint?
Yeah, Flint. Well, yeah, not the Good Beans Cafe, but yeah, like Flint about. Was anybody here for that first inaugural year where they did Laser Palooza at Longway Planetarium? Does that ring a bell with anybody?
Laser shows?
Yeah, they had done laser shows, but see, that first year they were doing the show based on Lollapalooza, which was the 3-day concert, which was just, it had only been going for a few years, and it was just so hyped up. I mean, I'd show up years later for like Laser Floyd or something, and it'd be like me and 2 other dudes in the audience. But like that first year when they did it, it was the thing happening. So, anyway.
Yeah, you take acid, then you go watch the.
You take acid.
No comment. So anyway, and on that note. So, I guess here's what you need to know. The story is set in Akawe, which is a mid-sized post-industrial city in Michigan. It's Flint, but it's called Akawe. The main character who is speaking is named John. He's kind of a horny 13-year-old. He's in 7th grade. He's kind of an asshole. I'm saying this so that if he says asshole things, you won't think Connor's such an asshole. And he and his friends have just shown up at the planetarium to see Laserpalooza.
There's an echo.
Yeah, should I back
I
up?
was gonna say, is that?
Actually,
is
I'm just gonna.
mic on?
Can you just yell?
I can just yell if that
But
would be
then
better.
it's gonna echo back. Yeah.
Try using this mic.
This one?
I think it's.
Is this
I
better?
thought maybe one was on
gotta
and
turn it
picking it
Okay.
up or something.
Oh, see, that was where it was previously.
Sorry about that, but
No, that's
instead of bugging
okay.
me, I thought it was probably bugging you.
Boom.
Didn't want you to go all Haskins on us.
Boom! Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. It was still 15 minutes before the show started, and a line ran halfway down the sidewalk to the parking lot. Most of the kids were older than me, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. They were suburban. White kids, nice kids, wearing band t-shirts and a little scruffy here and there. One kid had a nose piercing, another had gauge earrings. Another 5 minutes, we made it up to the dusty faux marble counter. We bought our tickets from a balding man with a pencil-thin nut mustache. Thanks, said Sarah, and smiled. Further in, a small gift shop sold glow-in-the-dark stars, astronaut ice cream, and giant sky maps. The dome itself was ringed with a narrow corridor painted with constellations, nebula, and galaxies in a low black light glow. Chuck and Patricia laughed and their teeth shone bright white. My shoelaces popped white beneath me, socks and t-shirts. I smelled incense or pot in the air. Everyone was talking. Everyone was friendly. The crowd moved down the passage in a broad sweep, past the Zodiac and a display of phosphorescent rocks, and into the auditorium. Central Auditorium is one of the largest in the country, with 200 seats arrayed in 4 concentric circles around an elongated spider of a machine, black metal, fitted with portholes and lenses, an optomechanical projector. The ceiling rises as a smooth, dun-colored dome lit like a brown egg and crisscrossed by faint seams. So many people had shown up, there weren't enough seats for us to all sit together. I sat in the front row between Selby and Elizabeth. Quanla sat next to Selby while everyone else found a place in the rows behind us. But the doors hadn't closed yet. The seats had all filled, but people were still filing into the room. They found any patch of floor or carpet and squeezed close together. This innermost, bottommost concentric circle filled in turn and made its way around the projector until there was nowhere else to sit. A slender girl, plain hair, long bangs, my age maybe, sat at my feet. She leaned her back against the armrest, her back grazing my leg. Suddenly, she turned around and looked right at me, wearing an expression of delighted vacancy. It startled me. She was pretty, but her prettiness was more a projection of warmth and ease than any inherent grace. She had a straight bob with big bangs and no tension in her expression, the calmness of a still pool. "I've never been to a planetarium before," she chirped. I wasn't sure what to say. "I have," I said. Selby snickered. The girl smiled brightly and turned back to face the projector. The lights dimmed. Our eyes sought the vacant ceiling. We waited for the music. The music came, and with it, light. Red ribbon quatrefoil, singularity sharp, beat like a heart and bloomed out into the bright blossoms while the sound ran like seams with rays and song and bound us together like we were one flesh, one tribe, one actor. It was, wait for it, a weight that filled our chests. So we had mostly come as critics and auteurs, posters, play juries and judges to energize injuries, psychic and physical, to pledge our urine, our piss, our shit, proof of the relevance of our thoughts and actions, and we co-opted a plague of rhythm to give our own lives meaning. That's what the beat said, and we bought it at the mall, and we bought it at the radio. Now we bought it at the Hasphere Planetarium. But I grew up in a jazz house. This was outside for me. I had seen how it all fit together. I saw it from my friends, and it did make me happy, no matter who was doing my laundry. That's when a wail went up from the knit panels of whatever fine fibers made a smooth surface for optomechanical projection. It was the same voice that called Patricia away from me to that asshole Lane to vanish into the shadows with him, leave me with the sixth graders. He was singing so fast and throaty I couldn't hear the words, but there was no mistaking that hollow half-pipe voice or the maudlin guitars that wove and weaved with guttural speed. I could almost see the spit and spark in the twining kites and crescents. Now going from red to bruised violets. I got lost in it. We're laser habits, not nuns, but clan. Bled witch black and filled with pools of blood. It was like the lasers were telling the story. It was a story of a kid and a Jesus-eyed and knifed by a Judas Pisces, then locked inside a Valentine. And he tried to break the latch to emancipate this vision, his priceless advice. But already that next song was beginning again. The whole act hinged on the Zeiss Genie Universal Projection Planetarium Type 23/6, built by comrades whose far-sighted lenses were tolerated in Akawe even if their cars weren't, which moved with a smooth curl, shooting stars, and rays mounted above the doors, steamed fake fog, that acrid, dry stench out on us, and shot their beams across the hinged black against the firm, pooled aluminum foam panels. It was impressive, even Adler impressive, when Campus Akawe turned on for the night, and spotlights shot white beams against Suarez's carbunculum chips and reflected starry diamonds out into the night, and inside and outside, mutual mirrors, parabolas, hyperbolas, and stars for everyone. Jagged laser, black and white, fuck you, blah blah, parental advisory, explicit prose, I mean pose, and so the next song started. A steady march pulse, blood beating. Youth on the move, we could march out, never return to school. We'd show the unions, the guys that made the Terraplanes and the Aubrey 7Ts, the Rolls Royces and the Valentine Decca 149, how to do it right, voices strong, raindrops falling down our brows. See, I heard something familiar here, something kindred, a son maybe of the song my mother had played me a week before, a permissive mother. She breathed an atmosphere where it was all allowed, yeah, she too was kindred to that which my father played me, sad songs, blue notes, blue beats, the stresses and struggles of men, blacks and sharecroppers that beat each other with belts like this, packed their way north once upon a time, and almost brings us back to the glorious, the man with a hollow voice and the hollower man who made such a voice heard. I didn't know this all in words. It was resonant in my cells. I'd heard enough to draw connections, even when I didn't know the names of the streets and the stretches, the neighborhoods and the intersections of my own town. And I knew that all this beauty and destruction had begun with the sound of the men working on the chain gang. Songs sung in pain and turbulence to keep others so close, so linked, locked bonds of people struggling to stay on their feet, to drop hammers, lift voices, to see the sun set and rise one more time, one morning, one evening. What a sad gloss smear on a hideous, awful, violent world, and what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world to give birth to such treasure and riches, green trees and red roses, catharsis and annihilation. We create this. Its magnificence is equal to its monstrosity. Magnetic fields might make a spinning vortex of 100,000 mercury-dosed fireflies, spinning them around in equators like phosphorescent star tails, but it would kill them all in the end, leaving nothing but dead flesh caught in our big broken machine. So we rotated sidereally, literally, into the next song. And if I had recognized Patricia's Pearl Jam in the first song, now I heard Michael's 9 Inch Nails, and I wondered if he would only hate me for 7th grade, this being Michael, whom the narrator John Bridge has accused of being gay erroneously, and which leads to all sorts of later ironies. Or if I remember, really was his big-time hardline bad luck fist fuck. We got calm shot, the beat dropped and cut to a palm spot, the general strumming of handsome men with STDs, his mellow voice. My only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. I lived in the 10th town, the first, Akawe. It wasn't anybody's friend. It tried to devour us always. My city was always hungry. It was never full. I felt empty. I felt a vast hunger open up inside, like Adam and I, and through induction conducted Michael in his confusion, Selby in her mystery, and Kwanla in her perceived purity, had dreamt up the plan as an excuse to find someone to cling to us, to save face, while asking someone to simply cling to us, to hold us close, to let us know that we weren't forgotten. Don't worry, it didn't last long. I found myself thinking, what a faggot, as I saw in my mind's eye the shirtless sonic rock god jogging out of the green dome and lunging into the audience. I turned my attention to the girl sitting at my feet. I couldn't see her. My eyes were swimming with lights from the show overhead, but I could feel the weight of her back against my leg, and what's more, I could smell her. It was a faint trace of cherry balm, sandalwood, and something else. Musk or must. And I felt, Sherlock-like, that she must live in a dark, dank, damp place. She had standards, she had good hygiene, she kept herself as clean as she could, even though she was pretty dumb and pretty. She would have been a perfect fit for the plan. Is she in 8th grade, I wondered? Where does she go to school? I waited impatiently for the next song to begin. And again, the music came, and I knew this one. See, Akawe is like a jungle, always. In the dark, everyone's skin is dark, but we carry our souls, the sins we carry, even forgotten history, whether we're born ivory or ebony, tanned or burned, bleached or chalk crud, whether pimps or pushers, prostitutes or moneymakers. I knew this song. I knew Ice Cube's voice from Adam's NWA albums, just like I knew Coltrane and Miles from my father's records. But why do I know black music through my white friends and family? Why don't I ask Chuck what he listens to? Kwanla sings in church, why don't I ask her about that? Why is it Adam telling me about rap? Why is it my father teaching me the blues? And then another thought. Africa is broad and deep and busy and crowded, fecund and fertile, but Europe sits on top, and Europe is heavy. Europe wears metal and oceans. It's hard for Africa to hold itself up with that heavy, heavy weight pushing down from the north. And Akawe's kind of like that. The West sprawls out mile after mile, block by block. And the city, the county, the state, the world, it takes and takes, pulls, it pulls. So, Ice Cube played Lollapalooza, Laserpalooza, to a crowd with maybe a dozen black kids, Chuck, Kwanla, and Selby are 3 of them. And one of these songs is not like the others. But all I could do was ding-a-ding-dang my dang-along, ling-long, jicka-jocka, 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 jicka-jocka. The laser spasmed like the kid, tweaking in the aisle off to our right. I refocused. Looked at the rays beaming above, felt again that feminine weight against my leg, breathed that cherry balm, mottled sparks. I don't want to die just like Jesus Christ. I would much rather walk on water than wear a crown of thorns. I would much rather die rich than poor. I don't want to die at all. But if I have to die, I want to go peacefully in my sleep on the night after I've solved all the problems of my life, have passed my essence into the world, have written my signature on it in ways that will never be erased, and I feel the peace and comfort of sure knowledge. Then, if I close my eyes and I go then, that'd be okay. But green guns flickered on the dome overhead. Green soldiers stalked under green soaring clouds, and the guitars phased into their wind chiming like the notes had been sculpted from the grassy cones of early mandalas and rang out like shovels striking dull bones. Everything was dark in this music. It reminded me of how we had been raised to mourn our bruises and black eyes, while those we had blinded forgave and forgot because they'd been blinded by many, not a few. I'm going to skip ahead just a bit. You know, actually, that seems like a good place to stop because this is going on longer than I thought it did.
All right, awesome stuff. Give it up for Connor Coyne. Connor Coyne's such an asshole. All the things he said. Sweet. All right, we are gonna let a newcomer come up here, so please welcome Kay Waterson.
Alright, my name is Kay, and I was born in Flinn, grew up in Flushing, currently live in Grand Rapids. back in Flint for a while. Just thought I would check out what you guys were up to in the creative community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this first song is called Holy Ghost. Have one more. It's not as mellow. It's actually a cover by a band that I really admire called Florence and the Machine, and it is a song called Girl with One Eye. I told her not to step on the cracks. I told her not to fuss and relax. Well, pretty little thing stopped me in her tracks. That's why she sleeps with one eye open. That's the price you pay. I took a knife and cut out her eye. I took it home and watched her wither and die. Well, she's lucky that I didn't slip that smile. That's why she sleeps with one eye open. That's the price she paid. I said, hey, girl with one eye, get your 50 fingers out of my pie. I said, hey, girl with one eye.
All right, give it up for Kay Waterson. All right, we're gonna welcome Holly up to the stage now. It's your birthday, y'all.
Did you get our coffee yet?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
I'll get you one.
Just give you free Bill Naps cake.
Oh.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
Hey. I'm Holly and I'm nervous. I have like 2.5 songs maybe. I'll start with a nostalgic one, see if you recognize it. Morning in Paris, the city awakes to the bells of Notre Dame. The fisherman fishes, the baker man bakes, the bells of Notre Dame. When the big bells as loud as the thunder, to the little bells as soft as the song. And some say the soul of the city is the toll of the bells of Notre Dame. That's my favorite Disney movie. This next one I recently learned. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you've already seen me do it. It's called Sweet Pea, and I may or may not remember the words. We'll see. Sweet pea, apple of my eye. Don't know when and don't know why. You're the only reason keep on coming home. Sweet pea, what's all of this about? Don't get your way, all you do is fuss and shout. You're the only reason keep on coming home. I'm like a rock of Gibraltar, I'm bound to falter, but the words just get in the way. I know I'm gonna crumble, I'm trying to stay humble, but I never think before I see. Sweet pea, the keeper of my soul. I know sometimes I can get out of control. You're the only reason I keep on coming. You're the only reason I keep on coming. You're the only reason I keep on coming home.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, so last one. And it's weird for me to play without a bassist. And it might be weird to hear, but if you guys want, I am playing with my band this Friday at Churchill's.
Cool.
So, we're called She the Spectre.
Neato.
Yeah. This is an old one by the Steelers, called If It Hadn't Been for Love. Never would have wished I'd turn me down if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught a train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have gone through the blood and rain without
One more time to Holly. Check her out Friday. Sheila Spector?
Yes.
All right, check them out.
Your other
That's
band?
true too.
I'm sorry? What's the name of your other band? I'm just trying to remember. Is it
They're no longer together.
Oh, but you don't
But
say
it
you
was
wanna
Old
speak
St.
in-
Tyrannus.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I thought it was the dinosaur name, but I was trying
Yeah, the dinosaur one.
Sweet. All right, looks like we have 3 more people left and about a half an hour left, so we'll just keep it to 10 minutes apiece. Please welcome Matt D to the stage.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Flint, Michigan, I love you! All right. I've been out of town for a while, and I'm back. And tonight, I'm talking about shadow sparring. My shadow is my favorite reflection. It's me without the weight distraction. Without me, it would not fear gravity. So some nights I learn to defy without naivety. My body is a split between water and feelings, battle ready and full of old teachings, physical sanity and manifest destiny. All you really need is a flow and an instinct, but some people will believe anything just as long as it's distinct. Now I understand why the world needs an army of one. We got weak together, and that's how they won. And so I shadow box. Shadow versus me, reality cubes, drawing conclusion like a double-lit fuse. About to blow, you have to know that the cloak that I'm wearing is my shadow. Who wants to box?
Yeah.
Flint, don't hear me. Hear these words, okay? For a moment, let us think about the land and put into words the feelings we know but don't fully understand. What is truly valuable? Not just in weight, but in virtue. When you got an empty stomach, nobody has to tell you. Fill in the soil with ideas that try to make the mind grow, like a partially opened eye looking through a painted window. What we see isn't natural. Prescription direction, operated health care less. The nutrition sickness, brought to you by gangsters, planning outlaw ownerships of barbed wire democracy. Welcome one and all to the mental prison theocracy. The hand that feeds is wearing a badge and a glove. When politicians laugh, it's never about love. To them, we're like animals afraid before the slaughter. Everybody's a victim when we're all just following orders.
Yeah.
Don't cry about injustice with a voice full of pain. Unoccupy your fear and send hope down the drain. Make a plan for yourself and grow and attack, because the earth won't be ours until we take the land back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it down a notch. Do something a little different here. Like, for about 5 minutes, I pretended I was in a band, and I wrote one song, and I performed it once, and now I'm gonna perform it again. Well, publicly anyway.
Sweet!
Now, couples often argue, broken sentiments, it's true. Doubt's an ugly shadow over how I feel for you. So to show you I'm still trying, to show you my love's still big, I'll do a little hunting and bring you back a pig. Cats bring birds, dogs bring thirds, or whatever they find or dig. So to show you I still love you, I'll bring you back a pig. Now piggies aren't friendly, and they live a life of hate. If God is a Republican, we'll see them at the gates. They eat so much they fill their guts even with their bellies aching. So I'll make one less pig in the world. Baby, I'll bring home the bacon. Cats bring birds, dogs bring thirds, or whatever they find or dig. But to show you I still love you, I'll bring you back a pig.
Whoa. Yeah.
You guys want one more, or you want me off the stage?
One more. Two more.
One more. All right. Hey, God, it's me again. If you're not afraid yet, then you just didn't get who it is that's gunning for you seriously. So take a look curiously and I'll give you a reminder. I'm a kid from Flint, Michigan, born to be a slider, a blending of words and phrases, dilapidated hope and prone to crazes. I lost both my parents to a mental illness spelled G-O-D. Symptoms are allowing fun and free will to R-I-P. Choices and meaning let go without a fight. When parents hate life, it's their kids who feel the strife. The church I was raised in was $1 million business of calculated cruelty, a callous cavalry of convoluted cowards, cosmetically critical and culturally contemptuous. Imagine an authority that's nothing less than untestable. Men without marriage forced to live without their testicles. When I was young, I said enough was enough and I put the Bible on the shelf. But not before those bastards taught me the art of hating myself. There's not a day that goes by that I don't feel that pain. You just can't go on living without the feeling of shame. God, you're nothing but a bad idea that needs to be tamed. I won't stand to see any more souls get tortured and maimed. All you really are is the power of words. So just speaking to you slides on the irony curve.
God, Paul.
And if the day ever comes, we gave up all of our power for something not even real, just for that lethargic relief when we get down and kneel. And if the day ever comes when we fight to be free and not pure, I know you'll be dead because it means we found a cure.
Oh, wow. Oh, whoa. That was great.
Give it up for Matt D.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Nick make an announcement.
Cool.
That he has.
Real quick, different from the announcements I've made several times before. I appreciate everyone that's participated. That's great. Who here is into the arts? Anyone? No?
I am!
One or two? Who here is into technology? Huh?
Not me!
No, that's pretty cool. Technology's dope. Business. Who's into business? Yeah, right? You gotta have the business. Get your business right. Well, check this out. I work at U of M Flint. I put together a symposium, going to be the end of this month, that puts together arts, technology, and business. It's called the Arts Tech Biz Mashup. It's a free thing. It's from 10 to 2:30, so it's really not much of a commitment. It's Friday the 31st. And what it is, we're going to bring together local arts. We got Ryan Gregory, who, if you're a Buck Valley Fest, he has a fish bike and all that cool stuff. We got this man right here talking about audio braided, which if you don't know yet, you might as well come and hear the spiel. Lots of cool stuff like that. The big keynote of the day is Complex Movements from Detroit, which if you don't know Complex Movements, oh my God, they're amazing. They mix hip-hop, technology, and social justice to create this very unique thing that is advocating for places like Detroit and Flint, and for really interesting ways to advocate and put your art out there. So again, it's free. It's at U of M Flint, the 31st of July. I got flyers. There's a lot more in the front. All you gotta do is register online. Lunch is provided, which if I'm not gonna get you there for the technology art, free lunch, come on now. And all I gotta do is register online right here at the bottom. So I hope to see some of you guys there. It's my job, so show up, make me look good, all right? And that's my announcement. Thanks a lot for your time. You get 2 sandwiches if you show up, though.
Yeah.
Two sandwiches.
All right, I'm gonna let this young man named Christian Pankovich come up, and then we're gonna let Terry take us home.
Yeah!
Taking it to church.
It was enough time. I want to be clear.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask if
I don't know. It was a wild one.
If anyone is in the Ferndale region Friday and wants to be entertained by my band, and then followed by an 80s breakdancing band, feel free to stop on by the New Way Bar in Ferndale. Arlo's on, opening up for the Reissues and Lieutenant Bad.
Ooh.
They have mustaches, so
That's why they're
I
bad.
don't know what kind of music they make,
Are
but
they handlebar mustaches?
yeah, they're like.
Sounds like hipster band.
But it's on.
That's what we got all those on. Keep it real.
Plug that in or mic it? Okay.
Hi, I'm Christian. I've been.
Hello!
No. I've been here before, but I took a long break off, so here are 2 songs that I wrote in that break.
Cool.
The mimic takes all his ideas from you. The mimic makes all of his actions on cue. But there's a force inside. He knows this connection won't last. He says something controversial. I look to your face to see if he's passed. The mimic spends all of his life in your shoes. Your shadow's the one thing you swore not to lose. Can't get away from it. He breaks and he snaps and he bends. But he'll just go to someone and forget that he is not them. And I've seen the mimic in each mirror that I passed before. I cannot shake the feeling that I've done all this before. And I've seen the mimic in each mirror that I passed before. I cannot shake the feeling that I've done all this before. And I've seen the mimic in each mirror that I passed before. I cannot shake the feeling that I've done all this before. The mimic lives inside the shell of the one that he admires. He tries to live outside of it. He tries but compromises. I've seen the mimic in each mirror that I passed before. I cannot shake the feeling that I've done all this before. The joke of that song is that I'm the mimic, and the end part is just help from the Beatles. Ha ha ha. Not a joke, because I realized that after I made it. But anyway, here's a slightly more happy song, but not really. Not even once, and you're gone. You left us here alone, like a fish hook in the bone. and complain that all he ever does is bleed. You must have heard, you feel the need, and complain that all he ever does is bleed. We made it this far, but there's still some ways to go, and complain that all he ever does is not know. You must have heard, you feel the need, and complain that all he ever does is bleed. Not even once, and you're gone. Left us here alone, like a fish hooked in the bone. Not even once, and you're gone. Thank you.
All right. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to hear many other people. I don't know, I was feeling some sort of way, so I stopped and got a White Russian at the bar. Feeling very dude-ish. So, I don't got much time, so I'll stop with the interludes and introductions. We're living in a city where we know the water will make us sick, but still we want to go out and hit the strip. How easily we dismiss this sense of hopelessness and replace it with some bottles, have some wannabe models come open it, but I'm so over it. Chasing after ovaries with fallen trees packed neatly inside of these leaves. I've come to farther retreat, but my heart did just beat to a different type of rhythm. That's why we hardly do speak, so pardon my speech about how all of your options are obsolete. I'm trying to save the world, not your inflated sense of vanity. Thank you.
Wow.
I don't know if I did this one last time, but maybe I did, either not. It's still cool, I think. So recently I've been having a bout with something I call frostbite. It's the equal and opposite reaction that happens. I mean, I think if I'm feeling it for her, it's called frostbite I call it, but if she's feeling it for me, it's called jungle fever. So this song is about how the only way to cure jungle fever is with frostbite. Opposites do attract. There is no truer fact. Back when it was illegal to pursue with that. Even if a gluteus maximus asks that you had a panic attack, you better relax before daddy blast and ask questions last. Because believe me, that's the last thing you want. But to try to hide your feelings in front would be way worse than the blunt force trauma and potential lynching of your mama. That's why we got a bunch of Obamas. I guess there's nothing but some slavery karma. Or have we all been whitewashed? But that would mean these chicks here have been blackballed, because whenever I catcall, I get nothing but grins. But yet they want to tell me that my love is forbidden and it's just a sin. But I cannot pretend that the coolness of her skin don't complement the fire that I feel within. Just like some yin and some yang. Sweet and sour like lemon meringue. Hotter than the blue flame or some burning Teflon shoestrings. People focus on the colors like a mood ring. But this here is so damn deep. Down to a place where only our souls could reach. For opposite ends of the spectrums to meet, they must learn they could never compete. And that's all, folks. I always wonder what heaven would be if hell froze. Would it be a never-ending episode of Melrose? I don't know.
Smile and just really invite you guys in. It's 10 o'clock, they're not here, so I'm gonna do it for them. Audio Braid is a project me and Al are doing through a Sharp Flint grant. Another Sharp Flint grant has gone to the Riverbank Park Dance Project. What they're doing is they're gathering community memories kind of in a similar way that we have done, and also using park history to create this big performance at the end of September. The really cool thing is that they are currently looking for actors, musicians, and dancers to get paid to be a part of this show. That's right, actual cash money. There is an audition this Saturday. It's a two-part audition, musicians and singers at one part, actors or dancers at the next part. Starts at, I want to say, 11:30. Goes till somewhere around 3. It's going to be down at the dance studio at U of M Flint. You guys know where the dance studio is. Just crossing the Durant, right on the first floor. I will post the event on this event page on Facebook. But again, like a great paid opportunity to do what you guys do best. So auditions this Saturday, musicians, singers, actors, dancers, whatever you got, bring it.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.